Hi, I think there was some problem with the. Okay, there was some problem with my voice. So I'm gonna first check if my voice is coming or not. So all those who are joining, can you quickly tell me if my voice is coming or not? Because I think मैंने 20 minute बोला और I don't think anyone heard what I said. So if my voice is coming, then give me a thumbs up. If you still cannot hear me, tell me. Hi Surbhi, can you hear me, Surbhi? Just give me a thumbs up if you can. Yes, okay, cool. लगता है God is like बाहर balcony पे बैठ के क्या तुम live कर रहे हो? You know, come back to your space. So yes, I am back. How am I doing? I am okay. I got a really bad stomach flu. तो लास्ट नाइट तो आज सुबह पहले मैंने सोचा कि कैंसिल कर दूं, नहीं हो पाएगा, बट मैंने कहा नहीं कोई बात नहीं, 1 घंटा तो मैं बैठ सकती हूँ. हाउ इज एवरीवन? ओके, सो अगेन आई विल स्टार्ट द लाइव. सो इफ यू आर न्यू हियर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. एंड अगर आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चन है रिलेटेड टू पेरेंटिंग, नीचे बॉटम राइट देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन मार्क, वहां पे प्लीज पुट इट. And if you are joining again, then you know what you have to do, right? Okay, now coming to the point, few announcements that I made before, which I'm going to make again. कल की जो master class है is the last master class I'm doing till September, October. I do not know when I'm going to start again, because as I said, like, you're my family, so I'm going to be very honest with you. Sorry. Things are going very well. I love what I'm doing. I love interacting. Sab kuch, everything is good. But you know that feeling that I'm not able to reach as many people that I want to reach is there. So that's a little misalignment there. That's why I'm stopping my masterclass after tomorrow. And I may start again in September. So if you have not attended my masterclass, then maybe it's the right time for you to join tomorrow, because I don't know when I'm going to start again. Link is there. Go click it and register. Kal masterclass hai at 11 o'clock, and I'm super excited to see you. What is this masterclass about? It is something that I teach you as mothers as to why you lose your calm, what happens when you lose your calm, what are the 3 secrets of being a calm mother, what happens in your child's brain. Okay, ये कोई क्विक फिक्स वाली मास्टर क्लास नहीं है where I'm going to tell you do this, do this, do that. नहीं, ये वो नहीं है. Okay, that's not what I'm going to do here. I'm going to dig deep and tell you what the problem is. Why do you really lose your calm? Okay, so coming to how is everyone doing? If you have any questions, bottom right mein daliye. I was answering this mother's question related to studies, and then she mentioned that, you know, I want her to be self-starter. I don't want that. I want to sit with her. Please again remember something, and I asked her this thing, and if you're still here, please come and tell me. Okay, if you're still here, if your child is a teenager, this expectation is brilliant. Okay, that my child has to be independent and my child has to learn by themselves. You know, उसको खुद को होना चाहिए कि वो पढ़ने बैठे. पहली चीज, हर बच्चा ऐसा नहीं होता है. Every child is different, and you have to understand what is your child's personality. For example, with my son, there are few things that he wants me to sit with him, and there are few things that he's okay if I give it to him and if I go. In fact, he does it better. कि अगर मैं उसको दे के चली जाऊँ homework, and if I go, he does it much better than if I stay there and I'm like constantly looking and telling him that, you know, what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. So it depends on the child. Okay, don't have an expectation from a child that, you know, you should be so self disciplined. देखो उसका बच्चा, देखो वो अपने आप ही पढ़ने बैठ जाता है, तुम क्यों नहीं पढ़ने बैठ जाती हो? क्योंकि आपका बच्चा वो नहीं है. Okay, I will say it like this to you if you're hearing me and you may not like it. Suppose you're a little overweight, okay, you're a little on a healthier side, and your husband comes and says, अरे उसको देखो, उसकी बीवी तो रोज जिम चली जाती है अपने आप, उसकी बीवी को देखो वो कितनी मोटिवेटेड है, खाना इतना प्रॉपर खाना खाती है, इतना क्लीन खाना खाती है, तुम क्यों नहीं खाते हो? Because you're not किसी और का बीवी, right? You're not XYZ. You are who you are. That's what you're going to tell your husband. Maybe it's not your priority right now to lose weight or become more healthy or whatever. I'm not saying losing weight is the important thing. But what I'm trying to tell you is, किसी और का बच्चा क्या कर रहा है वो आपका बच्चा नहीं है. So the first thing you have to drop as a parent is कि उसका बच्चा करता है, मेरा बच्चा क्यों नहीं करता? क्योंकि वो आपका बच्चा नहीं है. सिंपल। उसकी पर्सनालिटी आपकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत अलग है। आपका बच्चा जो आया है उसकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत अलग है देन बाजू वाला जो करता है उसकी पर्सनालिटी से। Okay, so drop that idea. Second, if you want to make your child as a self-disciplined kind of a person who understands the seriousness of sitting and studying, that starts at the early age of 6 7 when you start building routines with them. Okay, बच्चा ऐसा नहीं होगा सडनली बोलेगा मम्मा आज से तो मैं खुद ही पढ़ूंगा। Okay, they need that push, they need that motivation. Suppose your husband or your friend wants you to hit the gym, okay, and you're not able to go to the gym, okay, you need that push. Maybe you need a trainer, maybe you need a partner who goes with you every time to the gym so that you get consistent with it. Are you understanding? Same is with your child. Your child will come to a stage where they are so self-disciplined that they want to do it themselves. But उसको उस stage तक लेके जाने के लिए you really have to work with the child. Simple example I'll give. Between me and my husband is a self-disciplined person. वो सुबह सुबह खुद 5 बजे उठ के चले जाते हैं, मतलब 5:30 वो जिम में होते हैं, till 8 o'clock he's in the gym. I am not like that. I love going to the gym, but I need someone to push me to the gym. Okay, very honestly, I am not a self-starter that way when it comes to the gym, but it is important to me. So you know how I started? I started with a friend 2 years back because I needed someone. So she joined, so I joined. Okay, उसके बाद I have a trainer. एंड वॉट एवर वो मुझे जो भी कराते हैं मुझे सारा आता है खुद। ऐसा नहीं कि मैं खुद नहीं कर सकती हूँ या फिर मैं फोन देख के नहीं कर सकती हूँ। आई फॉलो लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आई वांट टू डू इट विद, बट नहीं होता है बिकॉज इट इज नॉट वेरी वेरी हाई ऑन माई प्रायोरिटी। फॉर माई हस्बैंड इट इज वेरी हाई ऑन हिज प्रायोरिटी टू गो टू द जिम टू वर्क आउट, एंड 2-2 घंटा ही वर्क आउट। आई वर्क आउट 45 मिनट्स फ्लैट, उसके बाद मेरा खत्म हो जाता है। सो इट डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन। आइडिया ये नहीं है कि कौन खुद कर रहा है या किसी को हेल्प चाहिए, ये कभी भी आइडिया नहीं है। आइडिया है मैं एंड रिजल्ट कैसे लेके आ रही हूँ। हाउ इज इट दैट वी बोथ आर हेल्दी, हाउ इज इट दैट वी बोथ गो टू द जिम, हाउ इज इट दैट ही ऑल्सो गोज टू द जिम एंड आई ऑल्सो गो टू जिम। आइडिया क्या है? जिम जाने का है ना, वो हम दोनों कर रहे हैं, बट हम दोनों का तरीका अलग है। वैसे आइडिया है कि आपका बच्चा पढ़े, idea है that your child is interested in studies, idea है that your child likes what he studies, right? अब उसमें अगर आपको उसके साथ बैठ के करना पड़ रहा है, धीरे धीरे करके उसको समझाना पड़ रहा है, या फिर वो खुद कर रहा है, that's a different train. हर एक का जर्नी अलग होता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन द पर्सनालिटी। हर एक की जिसे कहते हैं ना डिटेल्स अलग होती है डिपेंडिंग ऑन द पर्सनालिटी। हर एक का वे ऑफ डूइंग अलग होता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन देयर पर्सनालिटी, देयर वैल्यू। इफ इट इज वेरी हाई ऑन देयर वैल्यू दे विल डू इट देमसेल्फ। ओके, आप लोगों में से भी कुछ मदर्स होंगी हु आर वेरी रिलीजियस, मतलब फॉर देम द हाईएस्ट वैल्यू इज कि सुबह नहा धो के मुझे पूजा पाठ करना है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू मी। टाइप यस, हु ऑल आर लाइक दैट। ओके, और आप लोगों में से कुछ लोग होगा हु आर लाइक हाँ ठीक है यार कर लेंगे, मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक एन एवरीडे थिंग दैट आई हैव टू डू। दे आर रिलीजियस बट दे आर नॉट समवन जो सुबह उठ के पूजा पाठ करेंगे एंड यू नो दिया जलाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है। ठीक है, सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द पर्सन। ओके, as you said, discipline should start at 5 to 6 years for self study responsibility. Yes, see, discipline का actual मतलब समझो आप। Discipline is when I'm teaching my child, giving my child the skill to do it. Okay, discipline does not mean कि मैं उसको मार रही हूँ या उसको मैं बोल रही हूँ तुम ये करो तुम वो। That is not discipline, that is controlling. There's a difference. Okay, why I said 5-6 years is because जब आप बचपन से बच्चे को धीरे धीरे करके एक पर्टिकुलर रूटीन की आदत डालते हो, एक पर्टिकुलर बाउंड्री सेट करते हो, by the time the child becomes 10-11 years of age, उसको पता है कि this is how my house works, this is how my mom works, this is how my father works, this is allowed in my house, this is not allowed in my house. So that is why. But what if the time has gone and my son is in grade 10 but he is not liking that, he is not like that and I am very much worried. So देखो, worry होने से तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला ना डार्लिंग। वरी होके कुछ नहीं होगा. You are putting your own anxiety on the other person. Always ask this question to yourself, and this implies in to everybody. Everybody in every situation, when you think about your child and you start getting anxiety. Okay? ये anxiety, ये guilt, ये frustration is not helping my child. What can I do to support my child? Change your question. Ask your child, darling, what can I do to support you with your studies? If I was in your place, instead of constantly telling the person, पढ़ ले तुझे पता नहीं है 10th के मार्क्स कितने इंपॉर्टेंट है, पढ़ ले, वो पढ़ने वाला नहीं है, वो और इरिटेट होने वाला है. Okay? Instead I go with the point that, this, you also know this is an important year. I also know this is an important year. Tell me where you are struggling. Let me help you if you need my help. Your child is already a teenager, so they may not need your help. So you have to ask them. ओके जितना ऊपर घुसोगे उतना वो इरिटेट होगा. बुक लेके रूम में चले जाएगा, नहीं पढ़ेगा तो क्या उखाड़ लोगे आप. Okay, but with a teenager, if you are generally going from a point of ki what your plan is, and if you're saying 10th, that means उसकी 10th तो अभी शुरू ही हुई है ना. आप तो शुरुआत में इतना स्ट्रेस ले लिया है आपने कि अगले साल तक क्या ही होगा. But anyways, what I'm saying is go from a point of what is your plan. Ask them, what's your plan? Do you need my help? Can we make a routine about it, like for a month? Okay, and then ये भी याद रख लो, बच्चे रूटीन इजीली फॉलो नहीं करते. यू विल गेट इरिटेटेड आल्सो. अरे यू सेड यू वांट टू स्टडी एवरी डे 2 hours इन द हॉलीडेज बट यू आर नॉट स्टडिंग. आपके बोलने से पढ़ लेगा वो? कोई नहीं पढ़ता ऐसे. ठीक है. What you have to do is you just have to remind your child, listen, we discussed 2 hours, right? So is this going to be 2 hours in the morning or 2 hours in the evening? What do you plan to study? Give them a choice. I'll again come to the gym example. Okay, it's the most easiest example for me to make people understand. किसी ने मुझे बोला है कि यार ये साल तो पक्का I will lose weight, और वो जिम नहीं जा रहा है. Okay, and I'm like, अरे but तूने मुझे कहा था तू रोज जिम जाएगा, but you're not going, and today तो I have not today तो तुम गए नहीं, एक दिन नहीं गए, 2 दिन नहीं गए, क्या हो रहा है? What is this happening? Right? तुम्हें लगता है वो इतना मोटिवेट हो जाएगा कि अरे मैन, मेरे को दिव्या ऐसे बोल रही है, इतना उसने मेरे को मतलब ऐसे दिखा दिया कि मैं तो किसी लायक ही नहीं हूं, तो मैं तो पक्का जिम जाऊंगा उसको दिखाने के लिए. फॉर सम पीपल रिवर्स साइकोलॉजी वर्क्स इन अ शॉर्ट टर्म, बट लॉन्ग टर्म में नहीं कम करते. ठीक है. Instead, if the other person comes and asks me that I know this is important to you, I know you want to do this, tell me how I can help you. Do you need my help that I do not get junk food in the house? Do you need help in finding someone, in the gym to help you? Do you need help in me coming to you with the gym? मतलब तेरे साथ मैं gym आऊं? It depends. Okay, how you're going to talk to your child. Okay, someone asked me how to discipline a teenager. Darling, stop disciplining your teenager. There's nothing called as see, everybody's understanding of discipline is absolutely wrong. Today what I want you, go and Google what does discipline really means. Let me do it in front of you. Discipline, what does it mean? I'll tell you. Okay, and you will be shocked as to what discipline really means. I'll just tell you right now. Discipline, meaning. Discipline, origin and meaning. Okay. So please listen to this very carefully. Okay. Discipline comes from the word discipline. It's a Latin word. Okay, disciplina, which really means instruction and training. Okay, it does not mean that you are trying to control the other person. It really means that you're training a person to a level, you're giving a skill to a person to a level that the person can actually perform that task by themselves. But unfortunately, we take discipline as a very negative word, which is not. That is why in positive discipline, we always say, okay, discipline actually means learning. How am I teaching the child? How am I training the child so that my child is self-disciplined? कोई भी पैदा नहीं होता है with discipline. They have to do it daily. If you see Virat Kohli and if you say, oh my God, Virat Kohli is so disciplined. Virat Kohli did not become so disciplined in one day. It is a daily learning and training that he went through that made him disciplined. Okay, did he falter? Yes, many times. Go check his documentaries. He did come down, but he went up again. Again, you need people to help you, support you to get back up. So in positive discipline, we always say it is what skill is missing in my child and how can I help my child build that skill. So today, if my child is missing a skill of, sitting down and studying for 30 minutes, instead of focusing कि यार मैं इसको कैसे पढ़ाऊँ, इसको कैसे पढ़ाऊँ, ये पढ़ नहीं रहा है, ये बैठता ही नहीं है, ये नहीं करता, इसमें फोकस नहीं है, इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है. I will ask myself, what can I do as a mother so that I can give him small tasks so that his focus starts increasing. Again, आज मेरे बच्चे को मैं 10 out of 10 लेके आ सकती हूँ grade 1, grade 2 में, but क्या करूंगी वो 10 out of 10 का? When it is all done by hitting, screaming, shouting and everything. Instead, I would focus on building the learning style of my child, understanding my child, and telling him that it's okay, mistakes are okay, it happens. I've said this before also on this live and I'm going to say this again. Mistakes are how children learn. Lot of us do not make mistakes because we are scared. हम कुछ नया ट्राई नहीं करेंगे, हम कोई नई चीज करेंगे भी कि नहीं, क्योंकि भैया अगर मैं what if I lose? Someone once told me, Divya, you try so many new things. Like, I will launch a business, I will do this, I will do that. Matlab, I have tried I go as per what I like. Agar jaise abhi right now I said, I don't feel that satisfying with whatever I'm doing, even though I'm earning really well and I'm doing really well. But it is not satisfying. So I will not take a minute to shift my gear and see where my satisfaction lies, Some people see it as inconsistency, but I see it as alignment to me. I have to be aligned to what I'm doing. Some people may say that, you tried a lot of new things, but you have failed so many times. You know how I look at it? At least I try. At least I try. At least I try to come here live every Thursday, even if you like me, you do not like me, whatever that reason may be. How many people can do that? And the same thing I tell to my son. And I want each one of you to do that. I think last week or last week, I asked all of you to go and share a little bit of your mistakes with your children. Because children always feel that my parents do not do mistakes, which is the worst thing for them to feel. Because they feel that the parents are so perfect na कि मतलब if I do a mistake, वो तो मम्मी 2 मिनट में मुझे बता देती है. Okay? Or how easy it is to tell my child what mistake they have done, isn't it? How easy? Like this. पानी गिर गया, ओफो, ये क्या कर रहे हो? ये ऐसे मत खाओ, ये ऐसे करो. अरे तुम्हें ये स्पेलिंग नहीं पता है. अरे तुम्हें ये नहीं पता. We are always looking for the negative when it comes to our child. Right? Always looking at the negative. Start focusing on the positive. Like a very small thing that happened today morning, very small thing. But you know what it is going to change in my child? So I'm not well. Last night I got a really bad stomach flu. Okay, I couldn't even stand straight. My stomach is still paining. Okay, so this boy, he did his things and he went to sleep. He came, he kissed me good night and then he went to sleep. Morning when I went to him, first thing he asked me was, Mama, how are you feeling? Okay, now I could have just replied, I'm fine. But I just didn't say that. You know what I said to him? I said, Zorawar, thank you so much for asking. You're being so kind. I'm feeling much better, darling. He said, can I give you another kisses? You're going to feel better. I said, yeah, definitely. Why did I add that first line? Tell me. या तो मैं, क्योंकि उसने कुछ अच्छा किया, राइट, वो अच्छा किया तो आई कुड हैव बीन लाइक, हाँ वो तो सारे करते ही है ना, व्हाट्स द बिग डील, पीपल आस्क हाउ यू आर फीलिंग, ही हैज आल्सो आस्क्ड मी हाउ आई एम फीलिंग. But for a 7-year-old to do that, it needs a lot of emotional intelligence, and I want to build that in him. So every time he does something like this, I praise him, and I don't praise him, I appreciate him for doing it. Because when I appreciate him for doing the good, he will do that more. So I'm building that neuron connections in him that, yes, if someone is not well, morning we should, or next day, or whenever we meet them, we should ask them how you are doing. It is what our neural pathways are being built. Okay? When we see a negative in a child, हम 1 minute में बोल देते हैं, this is wrong. When we see मेरे बच्चे ने स्पेलिंग गलत लिखा है, 1 minute में बोल देती हूँ स्पेलिंग गलत है, ये तुमने क्या करा है. Try this instead. If you do dictations with your children or whatever standard your child is in, okay, they have written the question, you have written the question, they have given the answer, okay, depending upon what age they are. Instead of you correcting it, ask them, do you think this is correct? Yes, mama, this is correct. Chalo, I will take my son, then I'll take what you can do with a 10-year-old. Okay, मेरे बच्चे का तो अभी वो चल रहा है, he just lines लिखता है वो, that's it. Okay. So if he has written a line, or if he is doing dictation, and dictation mein there is a spelling mistake, he just asks me, is it right or wrong? And I tell him, no, this one is wrong. That's all I tell him. I never tell him what is wrong. Why? Because I tell him, okay, fine, go, this is the list that we have to learn. Isme se tell me which word are you missing? Which alphabet are you missing? Where have you gone wrong? Is your D correct? He's still in that phase where he writes D and B ulta. Okay. So I still tell him, see kahan pe galat kiya aapne. And there is one thing that you need to keep constantly telling your child. A wrong answer does not mean that you do not know it. A wrong answer means that you still have to learn it. You have learned bit of it, but there is more to learn. So if I have a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old who is writing a full essay or an answer, okay, and I look at the answer, suppose English का उसने essay लिखा है, and I think that essay could be written in a better way. Instead of telling my child, no, this is, see, यहाँ पे तुमने starting में, you have not given an introduction, you have not given this, you have not given this, okay, I would go from a point of view saying that, okay, let's read this together and see what is missing. Now see, child has written it, उसको लग रहा है मैंने correct लिखा है, okay, then I would say, okay, what did we learn? There is first an introduction, then there is a body, then there is a conclusion, we tell them, right? Now darling, where is your introduction? Can you tell me? This helps the child to reflect what they are doing. You understand? Over time, what has happened is, we feel we do not have time, और बच्चे को सब जल्दी कराना है, मैं ही करेक्ट कर देती हूँ, मैं ही बता देती हूँ इसको कैसे करना है. This is not helping your child in the long run. This is not helping your child in the long run. The more you make your child self-reflective, ये कैसे हुआ है, ये क्यों हुआ है, where could I have done better, the more you're going to help your child. And yes, there are days when Zoraba writes an entire page and says, but mama, this is the best that I could have done. I don't argue with him, because not all days are the same. Some days you have to take a back seat and be like, okay, fine. It's okay. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So do it in that way. So all those people who are joining now, whatever questions you have, bottom right, there's a question mark column there. Please put your questions related to parenting there. Okay, I'll pick it up from there. And what else? Next Thursday, No Thursday Live. I have my workshops next entire week. As I said, this is the last set of workshops that I am doing. This is the last set of masterclass I am doing. तो मुझे ये खत्म करना है before June 14, before I go home. So next Thursday, No Thursday Live. Okay. And अगर आप and tomorrow's masterclass is the last masterclass that I'm doing till September, October, or I don't know when, because I still have to figure out if I still want to do masterclasses or not. So if you have not attended any of my masterclass, it's a free masterclass on calm motherhood. Join it tomorrow. Link is given there, and I'll be more than happy to have you in the masterclass tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Okay. So any more questions about parenting? मैम मेरी बेटी बहुत ज्यादा जिद करती है, एक एक बार कंट्रोल नहीं, कभी कभी कंट्रोल नहीं होती है. ओके. पहले तो जो भी आप लिख रहे हो प्लीज अपने बच्चे का एज लिखो. मुझे पता नहीं आपकी बेटी 2 साल की है कि 8 साल की है. चिल्ड्रन का बिहेवियर डिफरेंट होता है, उनको मैनेज करने का डिफरेंट होता है. आपका बच्चा स्ट्रॉन्ग विल्ड है तो छोटा है कि बड़ा है, दैट इज व्हाट डिपेंड्स. ओके. सो ऑलवेज राइट द एज ऑफ योर चाइल्ड व्हेन यू आर आस्किंग मी द क्वेश्चन. Someone has put the question in the question mark. 4.5 years old को रोज प्रिंसेस बनाना होता है. So what's wrong with it? Let them be. You know, it's a beautiful age of imagination. It's a beautiful age of imagination. When your child wants to imagine to be a princess, when your child wants to imagine to be a Batman, Superman, superhero, I am a dog, I am a cat. I know once a mother said, मेरा बच्चा ना बहुत ज़्यादा behaves like a dog or a cat. Let me tell you, it only irritates you because you're like, यार कैसे behave कर रहे हो? क्योंकि तुम वैसे behave नहीं करोगे as an adult. As an adult, are you going to behave like a cat or a dog? But maybe your child is so much into that particular topic, like a princess or like a Batman or a superhero and everything. Let them be. Let them be. They are not always going to be in this beautiful phase where they feel everything is possible. Life is going to hit them very hard after they go to big school, like 6, 7. Like my son just asked me a few days back, Mama, is truth fairy real? Kyun? Because now people have started telling him, no? So reality hits. They will ask you, Santa Claus real? So जब तक वो इतने अच्छे phase में हैं, where everything is possible for them, let them do it. Okay? It's why the problem with humans is, no, we want to control them so much. ये possible नहीं है. That's why if I tell you guys, you know, you guys can easily earn 5 lakh rupees a month. You're like, no, it's not possible. Who said so? And you tell a 5-year-old, Arey, you know what? You can go to the moon. They're going to believe it. That's why children manifest also things so easily. That's why they're so happy, because nobody till now have put that restraint in their mind. What is possible, what is not possible. It is only when they start becoming 7 to 12 is when they start becoming more logical. People start telling them this is possible, this is not possible. And that is when we start becoming our, जिसे कहते हैं ना, हमारे दिमाग में वो हो जाता है, नहीं नहीं ये तो मेरे से नहीं होगा. अरे इतने पैसे तो मैं कमा ही नहीं सकती हूँ. अरे कैसे बोल रही दिव्या, आई कैन अर्न 5 लाख रुपीज अ मंथ. बिलीफ तो खुद का ही है ना, किसने बोला आपको नहीं कमा सकते हो? ये आपका खुद का बिलीफ है, दैट गॉट मेड सम टाइम. Shishmita says, regarding my child is very angry and ziddi. I'll just finish off with Surbhi and tell you. So I'll just tell you, if she wants to be a princess, let her be a princess. Holidays है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? और नहीं भी है तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Do you know, Surbhi, my son had every costume possible of a superhero, and he would go down in those costumes. And I have actually taken him to airport in a Batman costume. Once in a Batman costume, once in a Fauji ka costume, once in a Superman ka costume. So उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. They love it because they believe in it. फर्क हमको पड़ता है, अरे बाबा लोग क्या सोचेंगे यार. लोगों को सोचने तो इनफैक्ट हंसेंगे. Let me tell you, they are going to be so happy looking at someone who still believes in magic. Okay? Who still believes in magic. Ma'am, my daughter is not listening to me at all. Never ever. She really don't want to talk or listen. She's 4.5 years old. ऊपर वाले ने भी ये बोला, मेरी बेटी बहुत जिद्दी है. Darling, you guys have a very strong-willed children. Okay? You cannot change the child. You can only change your parenting style with them. Okay? You can only change the parenting style with them. Join my tomorrow's masterclass if you can. I'll tell you few things about how children are. Okay? And in my masterclass, I invite you for my workshop where I actually tell you about how to manage a strong-willed child. A lot of my community members have strong-willed children, but once they start and put in place how to set boundaries, how to have routines, how to understand your child's personality, how to make sure that you understand your child knows, and आप उसके नो को कैसे डील करोगे. I have a very very strong willed child. मैं तो कहती हूँ मैंने PhD करके रखी हुई है when it comes to strong willed child. My son at 3 years old would have a no as a sample example. He would cry. At 4, you cannot make him do anything. Does he still listen to everything I say? No. That is not the right expectation. But do we have a routine or do we fight every day? We have a routine. Even if we fight, even if there is a problem, that gets sorted. जो पहले आधा घंटा लगता था, अभी 10 minutes में it's sorted. Why? Because I've learned the tools to deal with it. Do I give him to everything that he says? Absolutely not, yaar. That's not parenting. That's permissiveness. You don't have to give in to everything that your child asks for. And this is what a lot of parents do. बच्चा जो बोलता है आप उसको दे देते हो, और जो स्ट्रॉन्ग विल्ड बच्चे होते हैं उसको पता होता है मैं थोड़ा ज्यादा चिल्लाऊंगी, मैं थोड़ा ज्यादा जमीन पे पटकूंगी, मैं थोड़ा हिट करूंगी, कुछ भी करूंगी, my mother will listen to me. She hits every child, ma'am. So if she hits every child, it's your role to pick your child and take it out of there. You understand? If your child hits someone, your role is not to stand on the sideline and say, do not hit, do not hit, do not hit. No, that's not your role. Okay? Your role is to make sure you go there, pick up your child, bring your child outside. And when your child is calm, that's when you talk to your child. And if your child is above the age of 4.55, then it's time to start giving consequences every time your child hit the other person. For example, my son knows we have a help, okay? मेरा बच्चा किसी को नहीं मारता. Touch wood, that way. That also I sorted it out when he was 3-4. He is also a very strong-willed child. उसको गुस्सा आता है. The first thing a strong-willed child does is they will go and hit you. But anyways, coming to now that he's 7, he doesn't hit anybody. But when he gets angry with my help, वो ना उस पे गुस्सा उतारता है, बिकॉज मेरी हेल्प भी पीछे नहीं होती है और वो भी पीछे नहीं होता है. जब मैं दोनों को नीचे कभी कभी भेजती हूँ, उसने एक बार उसको हिट किया था, लाइक ऑन द बैक. आप मेरी बात नहीं सुन रहे हो, उसने जोर से उसको मारा. ठीक है, ही वॉज राइट कि दीदी वॉज नॉट लेटिंग मी प्ले एंड शी वॉज डूइंग दिस, एंड वो बहुत इरिटेटेड था. वो अपने पॉइंट पे करेक्ट था, मेरी हेल्प अपने पॉइंट पे करेक्ट थी. That is when you start introducing consequences. When they came home, I listened to both of them. As always, my son is like, no, वो गलत बोल रही है, वो झूठ बोल रही है, and ये वो फलाना ढमकाना. I heard everything. I heard. Next day, I told my son very clearly. I said, listen, if you want to go down with her, you have to respect her. You cannot hit her, even if you are angry. What can you do? You can ask her to call me. Okay, what you can do, you can come back home. So I gave him 2-3 options that he can do if Didi is not listening and he really wants something. Okay, and I told her very clearly, I said, next time you hit Didi, for 3 days Didi is not going to play with you and Mama will go down with you, which he does not like. Why? Because Didi plays a lot. She's very good with playing. Okay, वो भागती दौड़ती सब कुछ है, which my child needs, जो मैं नहीं करती. मैं उसके साथ नीचे जाती हूँ तो हम घूमते हैं, बातें करते हैं, उसका वो नहीं है. Okay, so you have to set a boundary around it. अगर आपका बच्चा मार रहा है, your role is not कि वो आपको मारे. Your role is to stop your child. Okay, अगर आप बच्चे को नहीं रोक रहे हो जब वो आपको मार रहा है, you're giving a signal to a child that it is okay to hit. Will you let any other person come and hit you? No, right? You will stop the child. You will stop that person. You will move away. You will do something. Same is with children. You cannot just keep saying, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. They will keep hitting you. If a child hit you the first time they're angry, you can always tell them, do not hit me, otherwise I'm going to hold your hands. Okay? वो फिर अगर आपको hit कर रहा है, just hold their hands. Just grab them from behind or just move away. If you're sitting there and your child is hitting you, trust me, after 2-3 minutes, तुम भी इतने irritate हो जाओगे कि तुम ही उसको 2 लगा लोगे. And ऐसा क्यों होता है वो कल मास्टर क्लास में आना. I will tell you why this happens in your brain, because it's a long thing that I have to say. मैम I really try प्यार से डांट से पर बहुत, because she is becoming mischievous because you do not have boundaries, you do not have routines, you do not know how to make sure your child listens to you. See, children are supposed to be mischievous. ये चीज बताती हूँ. बच्चे बहुत मस्ती करते हैं, बहुत. मेरा बच्चा भी सडनली इतना मस्ती करने लगे, I can't tell you, but that is how they are supposed to be. But until and unless they are not hurting themselves or anybody else, it is okay. That is what we are not here to take their childhood out. Until and unless they are not hitting somebody, they are not rude to someone, they are not hitting themselves, they are not destroying any property, it is fine. But how to make sure that they understand this is a boundary to be in is what is most important. Parents of a strong-willed child generally goes into permissiveness. Why permissiveness? Why permissiveness? क्योंकि उनसे डील नहीं होता है कि मेरा बच्चा इतना रो रहा है. उनसे डील नहीं होता है कि इतना जिद्दी है यार, दे दो. उनसे डील नहीं होता कि इतना जिद्दी है तो इसको दे दो. नहीं, that's the worst you're doing to your child. अगर आपका बच्चा जिद्दी है, you have to learn how to hold a boundary even if it is uncomfortable. कल अगर आपका बच्चा बाहर जाएगा या स्कूल में जाएगा, क्या उसको हर चीज मिल जाएगी? बिल्कुल भी नहीं मिलेगी. Then ठीक है? Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize it's already 12. ओ सुरभि इज अगेन सेइंग, बट गर्मी बहुत है, डेली गाउन पहनना होता है. तो पहनने दो सुरभि. मुझे अभी भी आपका प्रॉब्लम ही समझ में नहीं आया है. अगर बच्चे को गर्मी नहीं लग रही तो आपको क्यों गर्मी लग रही है? वी पेरेंट्स ओवर थिंक अ लॉट. उसको गर्मी लगेगी, वो अपने आप उतार देगी. पहनने दो. सी, दिस शोज हाउ मच यू आर ट्राइंग टू कंट्रोल योर चाइल्ड. Do not trying to control your child. Your child wants to be a princess. Your child wants to wear gown. Your child wants to do whatever she wants to. उसको गर्मी नहीं लग रही है, आपको क्यों लग रही है? You can just do one thing. You can make sure she doesn't go in the sun. You can make sure you keep her hydrated. You can make sure you give her coconut juice or water or whatever it is, right? But do not try to control every aspect of your child's life because you are not comfortable with what your child is doing. Tariq, you're asking me about homeschooling. I have no opinion about it because I am not doing it. Okay? I'm not doing it. I'm not the right person to give an opinion about it. If tomorrow, if I ever decide to do my son's homeschooling, I may give an opinion about it. But I do know a lot of people are doing it and it is good. मेरे बच्चे की पर्सनालिटी चेंज हो जाती है स्कूल में. से द चाइल्ड इज वेरी ओबीडियंट. आई जस्ट मेड अ रील अबाउट इट ऑन ट्यूसडे. प्लीज गो एंड वॉच इट. Okay, this is the last one I am going to take. Okay, my son is 8.5 years. Whenever I try to explain something to him, he gets angry and feels I am not supportive. Then you have to see how you're saying it, darling. First of all, stop generalizing. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि अगर आप बच्चे को बोल रहे हो कि बच्चा आके खाना खा लो and he gets angry and doesn't feel supportive, right? So first thing first, I tell every parent, stop generalizing your problems. बच्चा अगर एक बार आपकी बात नहीं सुनता, 2 बार बात नहीं सुनता, या उसने 2 बार किसी को मार दिया या कुछ भी हुआ, हम बोलते हैं यार ये हमेशा ही ऐसा करता है, which is not true. Okay, so coming to my child is try to explain something to him, he gets very angry and feel he's not supported. Ask, instead of seeing what you're saying to him, listen to what you're saying to him. What do I mean? What do I mean? Rashmi ko I am saying, Rashmi, you know what? You do not know how to mother your child, यार. तुझे पता नहीं है उसको इतनी गर्मी में आइसक्रीम मत खाने दे, गला खराब हो जाएगा. तुझे पता है ना डॉक्टर ने उसको क्या बोला है? यू नो गला कैसे खराब होता है. एंड आई गिव इन ऑल लेक्चर अबाउट यू नो कि गला आइसक्रीम क्यों नहीं खानी है, एंड डॉक्टर ने ये बोला है एंड ये बोला है एंड वो बोला है. आई एम गिविंग ऑल ज्ञान टू द चाइल्ड. A child don't need it. They shut down. My son also shuts down. In fact, he has come to a level where he tells me, Mama, this is too much information. समझ नहीं आ रहा. मतलब you can see it in your child's eyes when they are listening, when they are not listening. When they are not listening, that's the time which is a clue to you कि भाई चुप हो जाओ. तुम सिर्फ अपनी satisfaction के लिए बोल रहे हो, बच्चे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Children don't need moral lectures all the time. Children don't need moral lectures all the time. Because they are doing things, they are experiencing things, and sometimes हम morality में इतना ज्यादा घुस जाते हैं कि बच्चे को समझ ही नहीं आता है कि मम्मी बोल क्यों रही है. समझ रहे हो आप? तो अगर आपके बच्चे ने सपोज कुछ किया है, चलो पढ़ाई को लेके, या उसने किसी को रूडली बात करी, चलो मैं अपना एग्जाम्पल लेती हूँ. एक दिन क्या हुआ, कुछ तो भी बात हुई. The last time I think I had little bit of a fight with Zorawar was on Mother's Day शाम को. Okay, because something he did or I didn't like it, and then we both calmed down. Then I went to him and I said, don't you think you need to say sorry to me for how you behaved? You know what he turned around and said? Ma'am, sorry, Mama, मतलब sorry बोलना क्यों है? I don't understand it. See, at that time, if I would have gone into the morality of, see, you hurt my feelings, when you hurt other person's feeling, you're supposed to say sorry and things like that. उसको नहीं समझ में आता. These are all abstract concepts for children. Children can see this is a pen. Children can know that I can tear this paper. Children can, बच्चे कैसे सीखते हैं? Experience से सीखते हैं. Abstract concepts नहीं समझ में आते हैं बच्चों को. Feelings दिखती नहीं है. It's an abstract concept. Okay. So when I tell him you hurt my feelings, he does not understand what did I hurt. So at that time, if I get into the morality of it, that you know you talk like this, it was rude, it hurted my feeling. But feeling he can't see. How will he know? Okay. So I didn't go into it. You know what? मैंने क्या पकड़ा उस पे? कि why do I have to say sorry? I don't understand it. And then he said something about somebody else that, you know, I went with that uncle somewhere and, you know, suddenly uncle said, Zorawar, you have to say sorry. So I said, did you say sorry? He said, no, I didn't even know what I did. And I said, you did not know what you do. So मैं भी जैसे थोड़े होते हैं ना mothers. Maybe I said, maybe Zorawar, you were being naughty in the car back seat. Maybe did you throw something? So I was just trying to figure out क्या हुआ because I was not there. He said, no, I didn't do anything. He said, मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आता half of the time why do people want me to say sorry. So do you understand? It is not that he doesn't have an intention not to say sorry. He is not understanding why I have to say sorry, why I have to apologize. And जब हम बच्चों को ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, तुम sorry नहीं बोल रहे, how insensitive you are. Try to go one step deeper. Maybe उसको पता ही नहीं है मेरे को क्यों sorry बोलना है. So your point, instead of making your child say sorry, your point here as a parent is to make your child understand why do we generally say sorry, what does sorry means, what kind of hurts are there. Like for example, if you physically hurt someone, we say sorry. If you emotionally hurt someone, now how is emotionally hurt really means, when the other person may feel bad. So there's an entire gamut of it that you have to teach a child. Otherwise, you will generally see which tell a child say sorry. Child says, yeah, sorry. But did the child learn anything? No. But it made us feel good कि हाँ उसने sorry बोला. Okay. Another example, why I'm giving you this example is your child is feeling are not supported because maybe you are giving him too much of a morality lecture. Instead of understanding उसको क्या चीज समझ में नहीं आ रही है, which is making him more angry. See, whenever I feel unsupported, I will lash it out as anger, or I will just be quiet depending upon what my personality is, what the child's personality is. Okay? Same cheese. Whenever your child feels unsupported, the child get angry. Because आपको सबसे ज़्यादा support की किससे expectation होती है बताओ? Who do we have the most expectation from? Support की. From people we love, right? Even our friends. If our friends don't support us, we feel really bad. And parents से तो हमारी सबसे ज़्यादा expectation होती है that my parents are definitely going to support me. Okay. And when I feel unsupported by people that I love, my parents, my friends, my everything, I start feeling angry. I start feeling, why they are not supporting me. I'm not in any way saying that if your child is doing something wrong, you have to support them. No. There's a way of dealing with that. Okay, there's a way of dealing with that. But generally, at least I want to be heard. I'm not saying that if tomorrow my son goes and hits someone, I'm going to support him and say, yay, what you did is absolutely right. No, they don't need that kind of a support from us. No. What they need from us is the support in understanding why I did it, mama. First, you understand that. I hit that person because of XYZ reason. Now my role becomes, I need to understand, okay, I've understood why this happened. Now my role becomes in educating my child, telling him hitting is not good, what we could have done differently. Did you hurt that other person? Do you think we can go and say sorry? Once the child feels that I have understood, I have heard, I'm not being, I'm not just blaming my child for everything. The child minds open up, and then my child might be able to listen to me and then act on it. Won't you do the same thing? So it's as simple as that, darling. Next time your child comes and says something, listen fully from their perspective. Point number 2. Once they have calmed down, that is when you start giving them your opinion. Another thing, as your child starts is like aging, like 9, 10, 11 years of age, instead of thopoing the thing, no, always start with the point of, there's something I want to share with you. Or, मेरे इसके ऊपर एक different perspective है. Would you like to listen? Especially with a strong-willed child. अगर आप strong-willed child को लोग ये ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करना है, तुम्हें पता नहीं ऐसे नहीं होता है. It's always better to say, I feel we could have done it this way. Or in my opinion, this is the right way of doing it. What do you think? So it is not what I say, it is how I say it always. Okay guys, I really have to go. My stomach is paining a lot and I'm really sorry about, no, not sorry, I'm sorry, 11 or 10. So I think I'm going to take a break now. Just quickly telling you, tomorrow is the last masterclass. We are not going to have Thursday live next week. Uske next week we will have again. Announcements will be there in the stories. If you found this helpful, then make sure you comment below it and you share it with your friends as well. Okay. So till next to next Thursday, this is me, Divya, signing off, and all those who are going to meet me tomorrow in the masterclass. I'm super excited to see you there. Bye.